Hello, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Welcome to A1 Vacuum and Sewing's live feed. Well, it's not our live feed, but our Sew Along live feed. And couple of things. Number one, here, let me switch over so we can, whoops, that's not what I wanted. So, oh, that made my head really big. Okay, couple of things. Number one, I think, let me clean off my camera. And my camera. It's loud here. So, when we moved into our house in 2019, one of the things on our inspection was that the stone wall was failing, and we have it everywhere. With our winter being really harsh, like literally the stones just started falling off of the wall. So we're actually having that redone. So there's like lots of like hammering. The dogs are going crazy because there's all these people outside. So just bear with me. And then it's just loud. So I am going to work on, I was trying to figure out what I was going to work on, and I think I'm just going to finish up my Shout Hooray. I know I'm working at a snail's pace because not a lot is getting done when I get home from work. So let's just go ahead and get started. I'm going to switch back to my forward view. Sewing room is still looking amazing. So this is my station's over here now. It used to be to the left, but I am just so pleased with everything. So actually, let's come right over here. I'm going to get my stuff ready. Everything is just so much more usable, and I'm just pleased as punch. So I'm going to grab my stuff. Hi, Miss Wanda, Miss Joanne. I'm just going to like take it easy and just stitch and have a good time. I had like a slight panic attack because I thought I didn't have spray. And like, I don't know if I could embroider without spray. Isn't that pathetic? I started to get all panicky. I'm going to put my mic here. I'm going to open up the door. I don't know if you had seen what a huge mess my sewing room was, but I've whittled down like this whole area over here. So there's my couch, which is finally cleaned off. This whole middle area right here was filled from like edge to edge to edge with stuff. And that's all I have left to deal with, like right there, which isn't much. And I always joke like that I need to make space out of nothing at all, like the Air Supply song, making love out of nothing at all. I really think I did that with this room, with all the like the new like all the drawers and all the new storage. Like, it's been amazing, and I'm so much happier in my sewing room because before, you know, when something's really messy and you just can't concentrate and you have to move stuff so that you can do stuff. So I'm just happy. All right. But it doesn't mean I can find anything still. I still can't find anything. What the one thing I couldn't find was I couldn't find my spreadsheet for today, and I didn't print another one, so I'm just gonna kind of be winging it. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna start out by just stitching It's Your Day, and I'm just gonna have to look for it because I don't know what page it's on because I don't have my handy dandy spreadsheet. I was thinking maybe I could start stitching out the sentiments too because I haven't even thought about what goes into that. But here's It's Your Day, and we're going to go ahead and put everything into the machine. This is all you're going to need, is this. As far as thread is concerned, here's my drawer, and it has all of, this is my glide thread. So this, I mean, we're not even talking about my Isacord and my Marathon and then all the other brands that I've collected along the way, but this is going to be my Isacord, and I think what we use with this is there is lime, there is sprout, I think it's like crayon, was it this one? I'll confirm. And then we need the denim. Okay, so here we go. thread is selected. And, oh yeah, and then there's also the, what is it? Cornflower, I think. So, here are threads. I have my thread tray. Let me get that up. Isn't this nice? Everything has a place now, which it didn't before. Now I can stay really, really organized. Whoops! Really, really organized. That organized and is usually not part of my vocabulary. Struggle, the struggle is real. That's usually my vocabulary. All right, we are gonna load in. Good morning. What's everyone working on today? What are we working on? Does your drawer have dividers if you wanted to use them? So I didn't, or Pat's going to be sending me some dividers because he wanted to see what I thought I would use. And I think I will definitely use dividers in that top drawer. So, so I do want them in here. Like, because I think it would be nice just, and you don't have to use them all the way across. You can configure it however you want. So I could use them just on like half of this if I wanted. And I think they run this way, but I'm not sure. I don't think they run this way. So, yeah, I would like to get some in there. And then this is the other drawer that, I mean, look at how much stuff is in here. So that's like all my sewing thread. And then I have sewing thread kits, little organizers. Like this was literally, I got rid of so many little plasticky organizers because I was able to just fill up these drawers. And as it goes down, the drawers get a little bit deeper. So really skinny, medium, and tall. So yes, I think we were just kind of figuring out where I could put everything. Now the other thing I'm thinking about, because I think all my dreams will finally come true if I get the thread tower. So I'm trying to figure out if there's a spot or a way I can fit that thread tower in here. Because it's tall, so I mean, I just didn't realize like how all these drawers would just make everything, it would really fix all my problems. So let's go ahead and load up this design and then we can chat about stuff. So I'm going to put in my Shout Hooray quilting design first. And if you want to just use your book, you can just find it right here. So it's going to be Celebration 6, the 4x6 design. So we're going to come in here, Celebration 6. We're doing block by block because we want to, we want the placement line and everything. Do I have a drawer for my hoops? Okay, I did try that. So I did go ahead and I tried one of these drawers. I just did this one. And I put all my hoops in there and then I was like, you know what? I'm not loving that because I don't like them all laying down on top of themselves. I'm working on Hoop Solution because this does, you want to see my dirty secret? Look at my fancy hoop holder. Do you like that Amazon box right there? But this worked out. This is where I have everything right now. This is my special spray box that I won't give up. All my snap hoops, and then it has this back here. So there is a pull out, and I told Patrick that I want to get some hooks. So this pulls out, and I just haven't gotten them yet. So I'm going to put some hooks right here, and then my hoops will hang. I also asked Patrick, well, can I do one of these on the other side? Because it's all open space under here. So I want to get another one on this side, and that way I can have two spots to have my hoops, because I kind of need them. Like right now, I have my snap hoops, and then I have my regular hoops. I had these hanging for the longest time. I'm going to just slide this back in. Okay, do you hear Poppy? She's attacking my batting right now. She's attacking the plastic that goes around my batting. So this is like my fancy hoop holder. In the past, all my hoops were hung up on my slat wall. So let me get over there. Do you see over here? So my rulers, and then over here I had all my hoops here. You can see it kind of right back there. I have my multi-needle hoops hung up. And I can go ahead and put my hoops back over here, and that might happen. But before I do that, I was thinking, I'm going to get some hooks for over here because it'd be nice if they were just like right here. I could just reach down here and grab my hoops. So that's going to be something I'm working on. But for right now, you know, we're still kind of getting to know each other. My new room and I am, I know, the thread tower. I think I need that thread tower. I mean, what do you, I could put it right here and one of these could slide under my leaf because remember, it's all configurable. So I just, you know, there was something about having like this big tower right here that I didn't want to like close up the room. So it's going to be a work in progress. So let's come on back over here. And if you're interested in daylights, I put in a call today, so we're going to be working out some pricing. So we'll let you know this week about all the pricing for the lamps. Because I couldn't work in here without the lighting I have right now. The lighting is so incredible. Go ahead and set that. And this is 4.5 by 6.5, so it will fit in my 5 by 7. Oh, the background. Yeah, I think this fits in my 5 by 7. Let me go ahead and choose my hoop size. I don't have my handy dandy, when did I adjust that? Let's put that back to default. Your embroidery foot height, your embroidery is going to work best when you're at default, but you might want to raise it or lower it for different projects. When you're done, always put it back to default. The real thing is if you're too high, it'll cause your upper thread to break. So let me go ahead and select my hoop. I usually put a sticky on my machine to remind myself. And then I'm going to go ahead and add my design. So we're going to go ahead and touch add. And it's your day. That's what we're adding. Whoops, wrong USB. So I have this plugged into my lower USB. And that way I don't have to plug my USBs into my ports. And that can save it. We are doing Shout Hooray PES. Come on. What is happening here? Am I locked up? Did I touch something? Okay, I just need a reboot. Hang on. I'm going to just turn off my machine and turn it out. And remember, there is a computer in here and sometimes it just needs that. So let me go ahead and reboot. And just give me a second while we're doing that. Let me go ahead and hoop up. I thought I could press and sew stuff together today too. You could get the full experience. Whoops, wrong one. And Shout Hooray quilting. 6, 4 by 6. Set, add. Whoop. I better just put that in the top. That's my go-to port. Blocks. We are doing It's Your Day. Set. And I'm going to scoot it up, but not now because it's not combined. I'm going to touch embroidery. Let me grab my hoop so it won't go out of the embroidery field. I'm already hooped up. I was like thinking I could do a like just finishing day today because I literally am like in the middle of like 3 or 4 different projects, but I thought that might be confusing. Okay, so this is my layout page. This is the page from which I embroider from. I'm going to go layout, move. Yours might say edit depending on the machine you have. And I'm going to scoot the whole thing up and it will not go out of my embroidery page. And you save like an inch. But why not save that inch? So now I'm going to touch this button where I can go forward and backwards stitches. I'm going to do that. First thing it's going to do is it's going to do the placement stitch. First color that's going to matter is going to be this right here, which is going to be Sprout. So I'm going to put that in right now. That's the color I'm going to put in. I'm in love with my sewing room. Like Patrick, I mean, we've been hanging out down here, which we normally don't do because it's so chaotic down here. There's just stuff everywhere. But with my new room makeover, everyone's been hanging out down here. Yesterday, I came down to sew, and I got absolutely nothing done because Violet came with me. And so they're having a senior assembly, and so they're going to be showing their like picture from senior year and a baby picture. So Violet was picking out their baby picture, and it was really sweet because she was like, I'm going to pick out Kai's picture because he won't do it, and that way he'll have a picture too. And I was like, oh, that's so sweet of you because, you know, he's kind of bah humbug about stuff. Okay, while it's doing this, let me grab my batting. We're going to go ahead and give it a spray. So she's going to pick out a picture of the two of them, and then she's going to pick out a picture, one of their baby pictures, and we were laughing so hard when we were looking at all the baby pictures. Okay, you're going to spray your batting and your background fabric. Remember, you're going to spray the bumpier side. That's the wrong side. I have a bigger piece that I cut for this, but I couldn't find it in the move. Just a little bit. And then this. And just the, like, centermost area. Okay, let's go ahead. We're going to lay it down. And the funny thing is... And I hope you won't be offended by my like wording, but we thought Kai was the Asian baby and Violet was the Caucasian baby. Because literally one of them has skin tone, so you're going to lay down your batting, and then we're going to lay this centered over the batting. We thought that Violet was more Caucasian skin toned and that Kai had my skin tone. So when we were looking through the baby pictures, because there's a picture of me in the bathtub with both of the babies, and then you could see her skin. And I thought Kai was the Asian baby and Violet was the Caucasian baby. It's the other way around. Violet is the Asian baby. And I'm just talking about skin tone. She's got, you know, they say Asian have more yellowish skin tone. And Kai was pink. Just like his daddy, and Violet was just like me. So, okay. Oh, wait. So now what we're going to do, I have to stop talking so I don't lead you astray. We were just laughing so hard because we always thought it was the other way around. So Violet's like, I'm the Asian baby. Okay, that first, the one that was in turquoise, that was a placement for the batting. This is the tack down for the batting. We don't need that because we cut it to size. This is placement for the background fabric, and this is tack down. That's what we want. So you should be fast forwarding. Oh, I'm going to just move this a little bit. And that's okay that we're doing it this color. That's kind of where you're going to fussy cut to. So it's kind of nice that you have a bright color that you can see. Next stitch, it's going to stitch its and day. That's both going to be in this sprout. So you can just go ahead and hit start. That's going to be 2 minutes of stitching. But it was really fun to look at all the pictures with Violet. And see how cool this is? So my embroidery arm, even when I have a big hoop on, it'll just, this part, or the hoops will glide over the back of this table. I gotta make sure they glide over and they don't hit, because I do have a cutting mat on there. Shadow. All right. I was just adding this to the very front of my book because these are the colors that they use. And it'd be nice if they put like the colors they're calling it in here. And this is just like the thread kit. So they're peach is peach, yellow's buttercup, tan is caramel, and these are the glide colors that I wrote in here. Bright green, they're using lime, aqua sprite, dark blue is denim, hot pink is hot pink, berry is cranberry, light gray is light gray, white is white, and the dark gray is shadow. So in case you wanted the glide colors, those are the equivalent glide colors. White is not included in the glide thread kit. All right. I totally messed that up. That was the quilting. So I have the quilting done in Sprout, which should have been white. I'm just going to go with it and let's stitch out It's Your Day. I wasn't even paying attention because I jumped right into that. Hopefully it's going to look amazing because that's what I have. If I hate it, you know what I'm going to do is I'm just going to redo it. You tried the Lumi big one. You tried the Lumi big one. Are you asking if I tried the Lumi big one? No worries, Cheryl. Did that? How'd the rest of your stitching go yesterday? Hopefully it went well. So I wasn't even looking. I'm hoping that this background quilting isn't too distracting, but we're just gonna go with it. I think it's gonna be okay. It'll just be, you know, every one of my embroideries or my projects, there's what I call, I can't say the word because it's a bad word, but there's a mess up, and this is going to be my mess up. I'm just gonna leave it. I think it'll look great. I know some people do all their background quilting in like a bold color so it stands out. I mean, the background quilting's fun. I usually stick to white because I'm so worried. That's why my house is painted white. Because I'm scared to use color because I'm scared I'm not going to like it. So I just do everything in white. Okay, after we stitch out this, see, so here it is without the background, with them doing the background quilting just in white. But mine's going to be bold and beautiful, and I think it'll look fine. Did you try to see if the Lumi Big Hoop glides over that part of the desk? I've not tried it yet. I mean, you know, we use it in the store, so it glides over. I do have that mat back here, and that mat is 3 millimeters. So I'm just gonna have to watch it and pay attention, and we'll see. I think it's gonna be fine. I don't know if you've seen me stitch and I go, okay, you want to check this box and make sure it's stitching what you want. I didn't even look at it to notice that that was going to be background quilting first. I was too interested in whoops! I was too interested in labeling my thread colors in the beginning of my book. Next color is going to be the cranberry. So here's my cranberry right here. Wouldn't be the same color. Alice, yes, I could have done that, but I am so, with projects like this, I'm always scared that I'm going to do something and then I'm not going to like it. So I usually just stick to what it has us do. But you are right. I should have done that. Okay, it is showing right now, stitch the confetti detail 1. Okay, the little dots. Again, that's sprout. You know what, Alice? You're right. I'm changing it. So it says that it wants this, but I'm going to go ahead and let's change it to, let me pick one of the other colors from the thread kit. I should put them all in my little tray. How about we do, because it's not being used here, I could go hot pink, or I'm going to go peach. Let's do peach, because I love the peach. You know what I love about the glide thread is I love that they give not just the number, but they also give the color. So I wish Isacord did that. Are those on those little, I gotta tell you a secret, Alice. I was looking for my little tabs because I'm getting ready to start Everett's cottage. And so I was like, oh, I'm gonna grab my little tabs and put them on the tops of the threads. And I'll show you those. They were a gift from Alice, but I'm gonna show them to you because they're really, really cool. I couldn't find them though, because you know, when I started doing my, when we did the makeover, I did take some stuff and I just shoved them in bags and things like that. So I'm thinking it's in one of those bags over on the side of the room because I want to put those on the tops. So Joanne says, with quilt designs you pay extra, so I want to see them. So I'm thinking, Joanne, probably, do you do all of your quilt designs in a color? Because this does look really pretty. What I'm worried about is that I did all of mine in white, and then I did just this one in color, so I'm hoping it doesn't stand out too much. we'll go ahead and put it all together and see how it looks. Okay, after this is confetti detail, step number 2 in your instructions. Step number 3 says stitch your, and that's where it's asking for cranberry. We do pay extra for that. So some of you might have gotten some shipping confirmation for your cuties and cuties 2. We haven't sent those out yet because we haven't gotten them. But on Saturday, the kids were in the store. I was like, let's get them all ready so when the cuties 2 shows up, we can just throw it in the bag and ship it out. So we are ready to go. Let me put this over here on this side. I want to say Graydon did something like, it was probably like maybe 30 packages. I mean, it was a lot that we got together. All right, cranberry. So that'll be in the store on Tuesday. So as far as a sew long, I'm going to do something next Monday. It'll probably be something like this where I'm just finishing up some projects, sewing them together, doing something like that. Maybe I'll work on my cuties April, May, and June. Because I need to stitch in the ditch for my April. May, I think I need to stitch it all together. June, I can't even remember. But next week will just be like a finishing sew along. And then the week after, because I think you'll have time, I think you'll have gotten your cuties too. The week after, we're going to do July's cuties. We're going to stitch that out. So not next Monday. Next Monday you'll be finishing. The Monday after. What do you think? Is this too distracting? We'll see. This might be a redo. Okay, shout hooray! This is in denim. You could use marlin too. Here's the denim. The marlin's a little, like, not quite as dark blue. This is the marlin. What do you think? I'm going to go marlin. I do whatever color the fabric is or a white. I'm always worrying that it would look bad if I use what I... That is, Shannon, I couldn't... That's like... Those are the words that come out of my mouth. That's how I feel. You know, we did one of my favorite events ever was one of those the Kimberbell event. It was the pillow. It was was it No Place Like Home? I think that's what it was called. It was the pillow. I love that pillow. So I did one as a sample for the store, and then I stitched one in the event, and I go, I'm going to be wild and crazy. And I decided to do whatever stitching I wanted to do. I think it was red, and it looked so bad, I just couldn't even continue on. So while everyone's stitching, I was ripping it out and like redoing it. And then I just did it in like I did the same thing. I usually do like a matching color or white. Can we order falling for autumn? Absolutely. So it's on the site at a pre-order price. So falling for autumn, I want to say the fabric kit's 15% off, and the embellishment, the thread set, and the design are all 20% off. But it's all on the site. I got the, do you want to see the thread kit? The thread kit, I'm thinking a lot of people, you should just order it because it's not like the common colors that they've been using. It got ordered to my house. I'm going to run upstairs and go get it. Let's get it. Where's the thing? thread kit. This is falling for autumn. And look, isn't it gorge? I only had like 2 of the colors. I have to like order all the colors. If you have most of these and you want to order a la carte, I'll probably be doing an order this week. But the colors in here are going to, because I didn't have these. This is Crush. And these could be some of their new colors. Doesn't this just look like autumn and it's so gorgeous? So, Tea Berry, Iris, Cappuccino, Coffee. I think I had coffee. Dark Brown. What is this one? Warm Gray 4. They have like a lot of warm grays because you can see this one is Warm Gray 4. This one is Pinot. Are you wine drinkers? Burnt Orange. We did this one. What was this one again? Crush. This is really pretty. Ginger. This is kind of gorgeous. Thyme. And Marlin. That's what I'm using right now. So I had like Marlin and I think I had coffee. And I had to order all the rest of them. Did I have this one? All right, so that is your little sneak peek at the thread set. So for Emirates Cottage is not in the store yet. So that's a pre-order. I think they said they were going to be shipping it out the last week of May. Last week of May, so we should have it in the store the beginning of June. But you want to order it soon because sometimes they don't send it to me all at once. Sometimes they send it like what was ordered in the beginning first. Here's you want to see the fabric and all this stuff for, they send me, like we can order an instructor set. So this is what's going to be in, you get a little sneak peek. I'll show it to you over here. Let me move this out of the way. Hi, Momo. Here's Momo. Oh, here are the puppies. Let's hope they don't start playing because they get really loud. Here's an unboxing. Or unbagging. So this is going to be the kit. Yours is going to come differently. Like when they send us the instructor kit when we pre-order it, this is how we get it. But here are the fabrics, and they're so beautiful and rich. And I love that it's a lot of the new fabric. Like how pretty is this? Is pretty petals with like this is new fabric here. This is it called Glimmer? There are a whole bunch of their new silky solids that they've released too. So this is what you're going to be getting in your kit, your fabric kit. I think it's coming with the flex foam because mine did. This might be what you get in the embellishment kit. So everything from cork to the new leather colors to your flex foam. Here are the new felts, I think. Well, this is, I don't even know what this is. It looks like, wow. So we have some kind of minky. This is like sweater material. This is like knit. Haven't even looked at this stuff yet. But your knits, wonder how we're stabilizing that. You're going to definitely have to do some kind of shape flex or something. These are probably for like the sweaters. But this is a knit. Because there are those 2 sweaters. Stretchy. That's fun. And then these, I'm guessing that these are going to be for the squirrels. You know, I've had people who are like, I want to do this just because of the squirrels. Squirrels are pretty cute. Okay. You're going to get some vines. Where does this go to? I have no idea where the vines go. Maybe... Where do you think the vines go? Do you think they go to the pumpkin? Or are they legit vines that we put down in here? So there's vines. You get velveteen. Ooh, look at all the colors of velveteen that you're gonna get. They're beautiful. And oh, look at those. Are these adorable or what? These are the acorns. Oh my goodness. So they're real acorn tops, and then they're felted. These are stinking cute. And then there's some pom-pom trim. So that's what you get to look forward to. Can't wait. All right, we are done. This is a crapshoot for me. This is a maybe, because I feel like it maybe does take a little bit away from It's Your Day with that. So I might be restitching this. Love that gold next to the green on the pre-order site, and don't go to promotions. Look on the very top, Pamela, at our tabs, and there should be one for promotions. And I think it's in there somewhere. And if it's not in there, then I need to know so I could put it in there. But it's called Falling into Autumn. So type in Falling into Autumn, and I think it should come up with the items. Okay, what are the last two things we're stitching out here? This is Falling into Autumn. Stitch the confetti detail. That's going to be in hot pink. Let's grab your hot pink. Where's my hot pink? Well, I'll just pull out my drawer and there it is. Love this. Seriously, like, look how nice this is. You got to get another view of this. And I can't remember how many things of thread it's going to fit. But I love this because this is kind of my go-to stuff. Like, I'm always reaching for my feet. So now I have a place where this can just be open. This is where my dual feet foot goes. You know, it fits right here. Just like that. Whoop. Other direction. It's just like that. The cord has a little spot too. Now everything's right here. It was weird. I had like a little cart that I put it on before. My clappers and like... This is go-to. That drawer is go-to, and this drawer next to, right below it, that's going to be my go-to goodies. But that drawer is huge. Like, I can't tell you, like, how much... It's just cleared up all the clutter that was on top of my desk, all the stupid plastic containers that I had. Like, everything has its spot now, and I'm just... Please just punch. Label your drawers makes it easier to find stuff and put it back. I should label my drawers. That's next. Drawer labeling. I have a labeler and everything. I do need to do that because I have been, like, I have some stuff memorized already, right? This brain that can't remember anything, for some reason, it remembers sewing, like sewing. It remembers. Okay. Slide it back on. Here we go. And you don't see, okay, I'm going to check. Where could it be? I'm hopping on right now. Let me check. Promotions. I need to update my promotions. Let's look together. Right here. So if you just type Falling into Autumn. If you just go to the search bar and just type Falling into Autumn, it's going to pull it up right here, and there's the thread set. This has a drop down. So if you click on this, the Falling into Autumn, it has fabric kit, embellishment kit, and CD. So you can just click on that, and then here is your drop down window. Right here, and then you can order all three things. So just type Falling into Autumn, and I think it should come up. Let's get back to the sew along. All right. Next, there was my hot pink. We are gonna put in corn flour. Put this over here. Change out my thread. I had like so many people email me about Winnie the Pooh, And so I put it back up there, and you can just order it now. And I think it should be here this week. That's a cute one. I'm gonna have to see what I can put that on. Shauna used to work for us. Alex, her husband's one of our techs, and they did their room in Winnie the Pooh. So I think I should just like stitch out a little onesie for their baby or something. Something for the baby. I'm not looking at my stitch out. I want to make sure I'm doing the right thing because this is confetti detail. Am I in confetti detail? Shout hurrah. This should be confetti detail. Okay, let's do it. And then after that, it says stitch the arrow detail and stitch the confetti detail. And that should be right. So we are on, and you can't go by the steps because we added the quilting, but there should be 2 steps left, 12 and 13, and that's going to be in the lime. So go ahead and switch out to lime. And Pam, we'll do we'll do Falling into Autumn. That'll be a sew along. Guess what we're starting with? The borders. Because if you know me, the borders kill me. The borders turn my projects into UFOs. Because by the time I get to the borders, number 1, Kimberbell's come out with something else. And number 2, I don't like doing borders. I don't know what my problem is. Last time we did them, I think it was Cindy Lehman that had us do, like, I didn't cut the fabric. I just laid it down and then I repositioned it. And I can't tell you, it was so much more tolerable to me. So that's probably how I'm going to do it. Put this back in my handy dandy little tray. I love that stitch. Don't you love that little stitch outlining it? It just makes it. And those are things you don't notice until you actually stitch it out. Okay, now we're stitching. This is the very last step, and this is the confetti detail 4. We're going to remove the block from the hoop, and we are done with this. I think Alice is right. I think this would have looked, actually, I think I could have done this and it would have looked great if I had done its day. So I'm kind of torn. It might be too busy for me. What do you think? Yay or nay? I think it's all right. We'll decide later. Okay, let me pop that out. I'm going to take it over here. I've got my giant luminous light on. I can move it all over. Oh, what's this? Oh, look at these. Aren't those cute? Those are totally cute. They're just like, I don't know what these are. They're like stickers or something, but this came in the kit too. I'm going to go ahead and put this all away. And now you had a little sneak peek at what you're going to get with your fabric kit, your embellishment kit. These are cute. I love those. And I'm just going to put this to the side. I could start prepping that now, which I should do. Okay, it's your day 9 patch. So you know what? I think I did one of the 9 patches. I'm just going to go ahead and do it again. And the other thing is I am redoing balloons too. You know, I had some issues with that one because I was talking too much and not paying attention. So there were I think there were 2 sets of 9 patches. And I did one of them. We're going to do the other one. Let me grab that. And let me get my instructions. So here is, this is so much nicer. I really struggled with my filming before, and now that this is over here and I can cover this whole area, I'm pleased as punch. Here's my other 9 patch. Okay, so we did our 9 patch. Let me grab mine. And maybe we'll do these and then we can do sentiments. Let me find them. Here we go. So this was 9 patch, and I think we did this in the 6 by 10. Let me just make sure. I'm just going to pop my hoop in. We'll just do this. Pretty sure that was 6 by, you know, hang on. Let me open up my spreadsheet because I think it's in there. I just don't have it printed out. Sheet. Sew them to the fillers, squares. 6 by 10. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and let's see if this is going to fit. This is like a leftover piece. Ooh, he's skinny. Let me get something else. I like, when I'm doing my 6 by 10 hoop, I like my fabric, my muslin, to be 10.5 inches. So I think that was just kind of one random piece that I've been using. This looks like 12 inches. This is what I use. I use 12 for my 8 by 12 hoops. Once I have one off, I can cut off the other one, and I do it from the back side. Hang on, I'm going to shut my door. I cut from the back side, and you'll see this because we'll go ahead and press and cut some of these blocks today and sew them all together. And I like doing it from the back side so I can be right in the middle. When you're on the front side, you can't really see as well because these might be overlapping. Is this like, this project, you know I told you I wasn't going to do Shout Hooray, and then I couldn't resist. And I'm so glad I am doing it because look how cute these blocks are. I mean, they're absolutely adorable. I have birthdays coming up, so I can put this out. Kids are turning, my kids are turning 18. I have twins, so they're both turning 18 on the... I always thought it would have been fun if one was born, like, you know, at 11:59 and then the other one was born at... And they're 2 minutes apart. If the other one was born at midnight, or not midnight, but 12:01, so they would have had different birthdays. Twins with different birthdays. I'm going to loosen that. So I can put this out. It'll be fun. And then Patrick's birthday's coming up too. He's a July baby. There we go. Let's go ahead and slide this on the machine. Let me and get back to my screen so I can see you. If you pre-order, do you get charged now or when it ships? You get charged now. So if you pre-order, or, I mean, you know, I know you, Alice. You can call me and I can put you on my pre-order list too. And then I put the date in. I had some people that was their event order. So you can just email me. I'm easy peasy. I just ask that if you ask me to order for you, then when it comes in that you get it. Because I have, every once in a while, I'll have somebody like cancel an order at the very last minute. I'm going to go home. Let me read through those directions because I think, let me grab this and this and this. And grab this was just a lot of flipping and folding. So this is what it's going to look like when we are done. And then we're going to cut these apart and you sew them together. So let's go embroidery. I'm kind of lost without my my spreadsheet, but I don't know why my computer here refuses to print my, like I said, I try to print from my computer, it refuses to do it. I have to send what I want to print to anyone else in my family, Kai, Violet, or Patrick, and then they have to print it for me. It's ridiculous. I like printers, I love, and I hate them. They're the best when they're working for you, and they're the worst when you're struggling with them. So let's go into load your embroidery file. So we're going to go, and we are not doing the background quilting now because you have to sew them together and then add your background quilting. So we're just going to go PES, character and star. What are these? I haven't even opened these up yet. Okay, here's all our sentiments. We should start stitching those out too. And then you can put them all in a little bag. I'm not going to do the back where you have a pocket in it. I'm just going to do those separately and just do a regular back with a zipper for this pillow. So we're going to go blocks. Here is did I do those in my, let's go ahead and set. I'm going to go up here. Let's choose our hoop size. 6x10, okay, and we're just going to put it up here. Use your finger for general placement, and then you're going to use your arrows for precision. Okay, make a copy. Move. I'm not going to move it with my finger because I don't want to move the one underneath it. Okay, make a copy. And that way you don't have to keep going back and adding. Cheryl, don't you hate that? Like, it is so irritating. Why can everyone else in the family print, but I can't? Like, why? Why won't it take, what's the relationship between my laptop and my printer? So what it works for me if move. So I'm going to do 6 at a time. It works for me if I hardwire, like if I plug in, but I brought that cord to the store, and so I don't have it here. Move. And we'll have a little bit of space in between. There are 5 per. So there are 5 at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm doing 6. So the next tubing, we're only going to have to do 4. Does that make sense? Or we're just going to do them all now. I'm hearing like little barks out of the dogs. Okay. So the last time I did so they're the same repeat, I think. Are they the same repeat? Let's look. We're going to look at the picture here. So yeah, you're going to have, because the 9 patch, you have 1, 2. Am I grabbing the right fabric? 1, 2. So you should have 9 make 2 blocks. Okay, so there's only 2 of them. So you're going to have 2 of those. You're going to have 2 teal, 2 yellow, 2 peach. So I've already done that. That's what's in this hooping right here. Now I have to do 2 of the dark blue and then, 2 of those and 2 of those, which means actually I don't need these bottom ones. So we're just going to go, that one's already highlighted, delete it. And this one, delete. All right, so this is what we're going to need. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and say embroidery. And stitch the piecing template directly on the stabilizer. You can see right here, it is going to do all of the repeat, and it's going to do it 4 times. We're going to go layout, and let's color group. So now it's going to do all the templates all at once. So this here is in your secondary edit or layout screen. It's not in the main screen. This is going to be where it's a screen where you don't have as many editing options. Now the thing that won't make this work is if this was touching this one, you can't color group. So there's times you can't color group. Your machine is smart. It will let you know when those times are. You are going to just be using, color doesn't make a difference, but when I'm doing something like this, I do like to use a lighter color. So I'm going to take the lime out. I have lime in there right now. And let me just go ahead and throw in some, I'm going to throw in Magic Mint, which isn't even a color for this thread kit, but it's a good color and it's going to match the pretty petals. So I'm going to go ahead and just put that in. This is going to stitch out our template. And here we go. I want to say I pre-ordered, I can't remember how many of the Falling into Autumn fabric kits. Let me see where I'm at with that. All right, let's go ahead and we're going to get ready with these first. So I have those. I have these. So you're not going to put your batting in right now because you're going to piece it and then you're going to layer it again. So first thing that we're going to do is you're going to place stitch a template directly on the stabilizer, place diamond fabric right side up. So our diamond fabric is going to be this right here. So this end, this one's directional. So let's see how they lay that one down. It looks like they want this one laid down this way, so the arrows go left and right. And this one doesn't make a difference. So we're going to go ahead and put this down on all of them. And you know what? They're doing this at... They want it to look like that. But they're having you put the fabric down. They want you to put it down diagonally. I don't know how you can put it down diagonally for it to like work out like that, right? You have to put it down like this. But I'm just going to lay it down diagonally. I just want to make sure everything gets covered over, and I'm fine with that. Okay, I'm going to give these all a shot of spray to the back. So you're not going to see this. I'm going to my spray tent. I'm going to give it a shot of spray. 2, 3, 4. I think you're going to have plenty of room. Like these, since it wants it like that, but they show them laid down diagonally. But I think if we lay it down, we'll just do a little experiment with this. And with the diamonds too. I mean, there's plenty of fabric. Because, I mean, it shows you where it's going to go. I think we're going to be fine. I'm just going to lay them down like that. They want these diagonal. I mean, it doesn't show you the ones that are directional. So we might have to pay attention to when we trim that the fabric underneath isn't getting sewn down. Let me go back to you so I can see you. I didn't know you could print from an iPad. I didn't know you could print from your iPad either. I don't have an iPad. Our family is not an Apple family. Nothing wrong with it. We're just not an Apple family. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do this, and it's going to sew this line right here. And then I'm going to hit stop. So I can trim. But it is going to go to the next one if you don't do that. You know what? Let's just stitch them all. But I'm going to be mindful of, you know, whether or not the fabric underneath is going to get sewn down. I'm going to try one of these and see how it is if we just leave it like that. I think that's going to be fine. I'm just going to leave it. This, you have to be a little careful just to make sure it's not going to sew this down too. I'm just going to move this out of the way. I don't know how else you're going to get that to look like the fabric on here if you don't lay it down like that. And I guess the direction's not going to make a huge difference. Let's just go ahead and we're going to go with it. See how it looks. So we're going to go ahead and trim. And then we'll lay down our next piece. So what we just did is we did the template, laid this down. It did our placement trim line. We're going to trim away to the right side of all of these. I think we'll be fine with this. So I'm going to go ahead and trim each one of these. It makes sense if you have an iPhone to have an iPad, to have all the goodies in the iPhone family, in the Apple family. Okay, next step. Now it wants you to take your fabric, and the corners are all going to be the 2x3, so they're all going to be these. And we're going to go ahead and to the wrong side of the diamond fabric and the filler fabric. You've got to give me just a second, because the diamond fabric, which are my 3x3s, and then the filler fabric. Oh, you don't need it on the corners. So it doesn't say to do it on the corners. I was going to just say, I don't have shape flex on the back of these, but it doesn't say that we need them. I want to see my other ones and just make sure those look okay. You would think I've never done these before. And those totally look fine. Okay, we're good. This is going to sew your 1/4 inch seam allowance. So center it to that stitch line. This fabric is, you want to make sure that you're laying the right side down, the side where you can see the print better. So you really have to kind of look at it. All right, that one goes down. Just looking at it just to make sure. 1/4 inch. And you're centering it to that placement trim line. There we go. Okay, here's your 1/4 inch seam allowance. So what's everyone working on? Because I know you're not all working on this. I think everyone's probably done with their shout hooray. And if you want, you can pre-spray these. I think I'll do that with the next 4. So it'll go ahead and stitch, and then I can just flip it. And it'll stay. And you know I'm a sprayer. If you want to hold it, you can hold it. If you want to use a pen, a folding pen, you could use a folding pen. Everyone does different stuff. I am carefully going to pull this back, and I'm going to shield my hoop and just give it a little shot of spray. And I don't know if you can hear that, but I barely have anything coming out. It's like the littlest itty bit. And if you don't feel comfortable doing this, and you know when I go crazy, when I have a new can of spray and I'm kind of working in the spray nozzle, that's when I can get crazy with my spray. But I'll pre-spray the next ones in the spray tent. So finger fold. If you want to take it out and give it a little press, you can do that too. If you want to take this off the machine, like doing this, you just have to be mindful of what's underneath and make sure that's not getting stitched down where it shouldn't be. So you might stop in between just to fold fabric out of the way. Next step. So we have this down. it did our 1/4 inch seam allowance. We folded it over. Now it's going to stitch down here in the bottom left corner. It's going to go stitch right here to here, so I have to be mindful of what's underneath. Okay. So Joanne's saying that when she did these, she put shape flex on it. I'm gonna pull this out of the way. And it made it bulky, and when she went to quilt it, she had to raise her foot. So no shape flex is better. Thank you, Joanne. Thank you for confirming that. No shape flex is better for these. That, see how we're off of here, and that's going to be your 1/4 inch, but your 1/4 inch seam allowance, it's going to go back here a little bit. So we should be okay. So you know how I didn't lay these down on the diagonal. All right, that was your trim placement line. Now you're going to trim everything that's going to go to the bottom and to the right of that trim line. So let's go ahead and do that. You just have to be mindful when you're stitching, is the fabric going to be under it and in the wrong spot? So you just have to move it out of the way. We're trimming everything down below that line. Because, I mean, you don't want shadowing either. And you go, am I going to have shadowing if I leave it with no shape flex? But it was fine. For a minute, I thought I made a mistake. And I didn't shape flex it when I was supposed to, but we are A-okay, and Joanne confirmed it. I like it when you're ahead of me, so you can make sure. So Joanne, you're probably done with this pillow. What are you working on? All right. We just finished step 4. Now what we're going to do is we're going to lay down our piece of fabric and let it do the 1/4 inch. Again, be mindful of the right and the wrong side and center it to that stitch line. Oh, and you know what? I'm going to pre-spray these. I'm spraying them on the wrong side. Don't spray the right side of these, just the wrong side. Here's my handy dandy spray tent. 1. Let's see. It's the right side. That is the right. This is right. Sometimes when I spray it like this, I'll put my foot up 1 click so that it's sticky. You just have to be mindful it might want to stick to your foot and drag it. Like it's sticking to my finger. Stiletto, please. Where's my stiletto? This is all going to be a 1/4 inch back, so you don't, it's not even going to, I don't see anything that I need to worry about it stitching on right now, because it's stitching a 1/4 inch from the trim placement line. I think when I did the first set of these, I just did them, I think I might have done them individually. Okay, here we go. This is going to be the tack down. Oh, I was close there. That wasn't very good placement, but it should be okay. Sometimes when I do this, I'll just hold it in place too, just to make sure the foot doesn't, the fabric doesn't stick to the bottom of the foot and start dragging it around. Renata, what are you working on? I know some of you just hanging out. See how I'm going to recover from some catastrophic mistake? I'm just kidding. Okay. Fold it back. We want that out of the way. We're going to have to shuffle these around a little bit. If you want, you could space them out a little bit more too. All right, now we are going to do the next trim placement line. That's going to be in the way. So I'm just going to hold them down like this. Let them go ahead and stitch, and then I'll move it around. This is going to be trim placement. Cheryl, how are you doing with your... You got to get that tiling seam done because we're going to be starting Everett's. Get that out of the way. And don't forget, you can always stop. If you feel like, oh no, something's in the way, just put your hand on that start stop and then reposition, do whatever you have to do. Now we're going to trim. Okay, let's go ahead and trim this. And I pretend like this line extends all the way down. The instructions said fusible on all fabric, but don't. On this one, I think it does say just fusible backing to the wrong side of the diamond and filler squares. So we just read that over just to make sure, because for a minute I was like, oh no, I didn't do it. There we go. 4 more tiles. You know, I still have to sew together. I did, was it, Christmas tree? I did that one last year. The very end of like holiday season. But it never got stitched together. It's in the UFO drawer. I have like UFOs behind me that haven't even, or I have projects behind me that haven't even been started. And then I have urgent UFOs, which they're really close to being done. That's where that one is. I'm usually pretty good with my tiling scenes. Once I stitch them all out, I'm excited to finish them, and they usually get finished. But that one is, I think I ran out of time. Okay, now we're going to lay down our next grouping. 1, 2, 3. Because these are going to get laid here and folded back. I'm just looking at the right side, sticking it right side down in my spray tent. And if you get one wrong, don't worry about it. Checking this one again. Nobody's going to notice. Okay, let's lay them down. These sticky side, right side up. Okay, be mindful of the fabric underneath. Like right here, that definitely has to move. Okay, which one's next? Whoops, sorry. I'm gonna get this out of the way. There we go. There's more to juggle. Whoops, sorry. You guys didn't get that. It's the camera. Whoop, hang on. Camera bounced up. I was trying to deal with that. And everything went. I got one thread caught and started pulling everything. This is a job for my favorite seam ripper. Sorry, I was trying to catch the camera arm as it was flying up, and then this caught a stitch. I don't even know what angle you have right now. You don't have a good one. There we go. I just want some slack, so. I might have to get that bobbin thread underneath. Here we go. Let me get my fabric back. What I love about these is I love that they're connected to the tweezers. And so I can get all this little stuff that normally I would like pick with my finger and it would like hurt. Okay, let me go back. Now that I've reined in my, this one here. Go back 10. Okay, that's on the other side. Now I'm just going to hit ones until it goes to the very first stitch. There we go. Okay, we are set. Sorry about that. This is the side I want to be on. Here we go. And stitch. This thing flew up and went in the way, and then I had to get it. Okay. I'm going to stop it just so I can put this down and make sure it's in the right spot. Looks perfect. I'm going to stop it again, just fold this out of the way and get this one down. Tuck that under here. Better to just stop it, make sure you're not frazzled. Perfect. Okay, now we're going to fold them all back. We just did that event too. That was a fun event, wasn't it, Miss Betty? Spoonful. It was a fun event. Let's fold this one back. Now it's going to do one more line of stitching. That's going to go this way, and then we're going to trim it away. I'll just go ahead and fold as we go. If you want, you can press too. You can press and clapper. There's a lot going on here, so I'm going to pause it. And just make sure everything's out of the way. Make sure nothing's underneath. We're good. There we go. Okay. Now we're going to trim everything that's like, I'd call it northwest. In the northwest corner, we're going to trim all of that. We're going to lay down one more piece and then we will be done with these, I think. It'll sew like like a square around the whole thing. What do you think was the best project from Spoonful? I think people like the apron. The apron was super cute. I know Michelle did such a great job with that. I brought home, I just got my instructor kit for Treats for My Boo. It's so cute. It's really, really cute. I could show it to you. And we're going to trim this. Okay, this is our placement line 2. So now we're going to go ahead and lay down. I'm going to spray them first. This is your last set of 4. Here we go. Put them in your little spray tent or wherever you're going to spray them. Or you don't even have to spray them if you don't want to. Putting them all in my spray tent. These are back to back, I think so. This should be wrong sides. And I just have my little handy dandy spray tan over here. I think this is great because you don't have to worry about your aerosol going everywhere. And now we're going to lay them down in this top part. Let me tighten up my filming arm so it doesn't go flying up again. I'll just lay one down at a time and let it stitch. So here's my first one. Lay it right and center it on that stitch line. I'm just going to hold this one down and we'll flip it. I'm going to stop that. It's not going to stitch. Let me fold this one back and up and out of the way. I like to give it a good fingernail press. Here's my next one. Okay. I'm going to stop it. And fold that one over. Lay this one down right here. It's going to be a 1/4 inch, so we shouldn't have to worry about that little guy right there. I'm going to fold him back later. Okay, I'm going to lay this one down, 1/4 inch. Okay, last thing it's going to do is the outline stitch on all of this. So make sure everything's down. If you wanted to give it a press, right now could be a good time. I'm just going to hold this out of the way. It's going to do my outline stitch. Then I'm going to hit stop. Make sure it doesn't fold anything back. And that is your trim line. You're going to use your ruler, but that's your approximate trim line. I'm going to go ahead and hit stop again. So let me fold all this back. I'm going to move this out of the way. That's the only thing I need to worry about here. Okay, now it's going to do this bottom set. If there's anything under here, just muslin. I'm going to hit my stop. I don't trim right to that line because when you go to when you press and then you trim, I mean that you might be a little over, a little under. I think these are going to be what, 2.5 inches. So I'll just leave that. Maybe just trim about 1/2 inch away. Fold this back. And we should be good. There's nothing in the way. So I think we did, I can't remember because it was so long ago. I can't remember if we did these individually or if we did them, if we grouped when we did them before. Those are done. I think I had a set of pinwheels to do. Let me see. Grab this. And grab these. Or maybe we're set and ready. We could cut these apart and then go ahead and quilt them. So, my 9 patch. And these will be ready for the next project. I love these sleeves. And I just put the tape on them and use them over and over again. All right, with these, stitch the outer, remove, repeat until all 10 are complete. Make 2 squares. Using the outer tack down line as a guide, square each in a 2.5 by 2.5. We're going to arrange them. Whoops, sorry. Filler squares, sew the square inner square blocks and filler squares together in 3 rows using a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Press well, and then we can go ahead and quilt them. So why don't we do that? So why don't we go ahead, the only thing I'm not sure, I think everything's done. Actually, I'll finish up the balloon later because you've already kind of seen that. But the pinwheels, I thought I had a thing with those. Maybe I am done with those. We're going to go ahead and let me look at the sentiments. Maybe we'll stitch those out because I haven't started those at all. Embellishments. Here are my sentiments, my letters. Character and star towels. Make as many tiles as desired. You know what? I am going to do that later. I'm going to go ahead and let's finish up. Maybe we'll cut these all apart and I'll show you how to do that because I haven't done that in a while. Just dropping in. These are so cute, Joyce. I didn't expect to love this one as much as I did. So let's go ahead and I'm going to turn on my iron. I'm going to press on here, but I'll also, we'll cut them out. First thing we'll do though is let's go ahead and we will press them all out and then we're going to trim them. Let me get them all. This one, I'm redoing this. But, you know, I'll press this one out just so we'll have it as a little guide. Let's make sure we have everything. Look how cute this one is. I just love it. You know what? I love like stitching because the stitching can really make your project. Okay, from the back. And I might have to go in search of some of my blocks because I've been stitching like so many different projects all at once. I'm going to get this one. I'm not worried about cutting this stuff away. That's fine. It's your day. We'll just go ahead and do this one too. This is Pinwheel. There it is. This is Life is Better in Full Bloom. So maybe that'll get done today too. There's so much to do. Don't trim right on that line. Give yourself a little room in case that block pulls or stretches or shrinks. Put that with the other one. What's over here? That's Life is Better in Full Bloom. Let's grab my hoops. Those can go in my special hoop box. My amazing hoop box. Okay. I'm going to come in from this angle so I can stand above. I like leverage when I'm pressing because at this point, my shoulders, I feel like if there's anything that is weak on me, it's my shoulders. So I like to use the weight of my body. So I'm going to stand over these and let me see what I'm missing here because we have all of our little 9, are those 9 patch? Our 9 patches. So I should have 2 sections of those, this end And the other one, which is, oh, I'm glad we're doing this because here's more. Here are my presents. I have so much space now everywhere. Where's the other piece? The other 9 patch. Here's this one, and let me cut this one off. Or we'll trim this one out later. We'll just press it the way it is. Okay, so do you see me looking everywhere? I'm like, where's my 9 patch? So balloon 1, balloon 2. This is just going to be a pretend because we're going to do the other one. This is the presents down on the bottom. That's this right here. The 9 patch stuff. So we have our 9 patch right here. And where are the other ones? Okay, got them. I'm going to separate them from, that is, this is, I think, Made Cuties. I don't even know where I'm at with that one. So here's my other 9 patch. That's me. The little pennants up here and the stars. So here's the stars. And here are the pennants. The cake. Here's cake. Here are pinwheels. Here is It's Your Day. And then we have some filler blocks too, which I don't even know if I embroidered those. Okay, let's start with these and then we'll trim them down and then we'll figure out what we're missing. I like to take these, put them right side down. I use my best press, which is, where's my best press bottle? Or just water, whatever you want to use. And sometimes I'll layer mat on mat. I have like a 17-inch by 17-inch. And your whole goal, because can you see how ripply this is right now? You want it to just lay flat. Your design may... Oh, you know, I didn't even look to see if this was directional. I will pay attention to if it's directional. But you want everything to just lay flat. And you're going to see the line of my stitching because of my pressing. And you want to press it until it's dry. Do you see how crooked that is up here? So this, you're going to fussy cut to that line. But you just want to make sure you don't cut on that line because it's going to be... And don't worry if it's crooked. It's going to be fine when we stitch it all, when we sew it all together. Okay, we're going to go through and do all of these. Look how, like if you were to just cut it right now, you have so much ripple with this. Maybe this block is going to make it. Directional? Okay, I do check to see if it's directional. Because then you don't want to be so aggressive in your ironing. You want to just really press if you can. Nice and flat. Perfect. Ready to go. This one, I think this one's my favorite. The cake. It's so cute. I'm going to go this direction and then I'll go this direction. So this morning, Poppy was up at 5. I'm going to open up my door now that they're not barking. She was up at 5 attacking us, and I had taken her crate, because we would have put her right into her crate. I had taken her crate and put it in the other room, because we have 2 for her, but one of them's a little snug. And she was, so we ignored her, because we were like, maybe she'll go back to bed. There's a little hole in her dog bed. And you could hear her making some noise. I love this one too. You know what I love about this? Like the different stitching on each one of the pennants are just so cute. When we finally picked up our head, and she did it fast. I was like, what is she doing? Patrick's like, I don't know. She had ripped all the stuffing out of one of the arms of her dog bed. There was like stuffing everywhere. She's like, oh, you're not going to get up? All right, I'm going to entertain myself. And actually, that little hole was started by Momo when he was a puppy. It was his puppy bed, and we passed it down to her. Adorable. We're going to use our pop rulers next. If you've never used your pop rulers, if you don't have them, you should get them. If you're going to do a lot of Kimberbell, they just make sense. Because you can fussy cut to them. Here comes one child.
No,
Hi.
No, girl. Hi, Mom. I know, you're so excited. Oh, it's hot.
Beautiful. Here's another one. I'm excited to stitch these together. They're going to be gorgeous. I know. We were doing the event, and somebody said that, I couldn't remember if they said that they weren't a like piecer quilter, or if they're an embroiderer. So, but I learned how to do quilting. I mean, the first quilts I ever did, or the piecing, was with a Kimberbell project. So I kind of miss that they're, you know, we're doing in the hoop piecing, which is fine, but I miss like some traditional. I really like the projects where there's a little bit of traditional piecing too. I just love that. I'm just going to cut some of this away, so I don't know if anyone else, just a little bit of it. I like having a little bit. I'm like, ooh, I'm a quilter. And when I say quilting, I mean piecing too. And I know it's totally different. Please don't be offended. I remember when we first bought the store, or even when I first started working at the store, and I'd ask people, I would say, oh, do you quilt? And then they told me they didn't quilt, they pieced, and they sent their stuff out for quilting. And that's when I realized, oh, it's 2 totally different things. I didn't know that. Did not know that. This is really cute. I'm so happy to have done this. I keep saying no moss, but I just love all of them. Let me see. Directional? Nope. I do like to go left to right or up and down first. But I do go both directions. Oops, that's my shoulder. You don't want to see that. nice and flat. This is my icky balloons that I'm going to redo, and then my good balloons. I should have just been stitching these balloons while we were doing this. Flat. You want it flat. If you have moisture and some vinyl, sometimes you get a little steam in the vinyl. That's okay. It'll go away. You're not ruining it. Non-directional. Okay, we are going to trim now. So you're going to press everything first. Press and then trim. I'm going to get my Martelli mat. And put away my hoops. I think a rotating mat is really important when you're trimming these down because you want to keep your hand on your project, give yourself some room, but you don't want to have to take your ruler off, reposition. You just want to be able to spin it. So these are my favorite, the Martelli mats. I'm going to grab my pop rulers. Having a lot of rulers when I'm trimming. So I like square ones. I like my pop rulers, but sometimes these aren't the right size. And when they're not the right size, I like to do this. Kimberbell will have you nest them, and that's fine. Like, I think I really did nest them most of the time in the beginning, but it can be kind of a pain in the butt. I have a 2.5 by 2.5 inch ruler somewhere. Do you like I love this organizer. Small rulers and templates. But what I was really wanting, because although I like these, I like the creative grids because they have the non-slip on them. So that's what I prefer to use. And I love my, if you really want non-slip, you want to use Quilter Select. The whole back side of it is gummy. But sometimes I like to nudge, and it doesn't nudge as well as my creative grids. The other thing I like about my creative grids are the markings. Like, for me, it just makes so much sense with the numbers where you have the whole numbers in the white and then the 1/2 inch marks in the dark. So it just, my brain loves these. And those are my favorite. This is so great because they don't slip. And I have a 2.5 by 2.5, but of course, I don't know where it is, so we're just going to use those. Okay, I'm going to use my book. I wish I had my spreadsheet because everything is on that one page, but we'll just go ahead and we'll look in here. So for these, for the 9 patch, we're going to take each one of those and we are going to trim them down. I think we trim them down to 2.5 inches each. So it says, use the outer tack down as a guide, square in a square to 2.5 inches. I am going to use this ruler because this is not going to budge. We're going to start with those. 2.5 by 2.5. Here we go. Rotary cutters right here. It's labeled. I love it. I know you can't eat. Let me see if that marking's any better. These are made so that the markings are like the same either way you hold it. So you're going to kind of fussy cut. Oh my goodness. I just went into, okay, I'm going to do 2. Okay. And I'll do my other 2. I'll lay my ruler down. Here we go. 1 cut. Turn, hold, don't let go. 2nd cut. And that one is done and it looks amazing. Let's do the rest. And if you want, we could just take this and I'm going to cut right down here. So we can kind of cut these apart. I love this. This is like, I love this. Have you ever seen this pattern? I can't remember what it's called. And then you have like your little bag where you throw all your junk. And this, that's like, that was one of my like first sewing projects. And I love it. It's so useful. I made like 8 of them and I gave most of them away. I think I kept 2 for me in my sewing room. Okay, lay this down. Fussy cut. So put it over those lines the best you can. And it might be a little in, it might be a little out. I'm gonna move over. This is when if I wasn't filming live, I would just go ahead and pause the video. So you don't have to watch all this. But this is kind of real life, right? I haven't looked at the screen at all. You asking me any questions? I'm going to take a peek. Isn't the Oliso iron heavier to press firmly? Just stopped in to watch while at work. Yeah, you know what, Cheryl? That is a great thing to point out. The Oliso is, it is definitely heavier. So you could use that one instead. But I feel like I'm such an aggressive presser ironer. I think I would be doing the same thing. I would still be standing on my tippy toes, standing over my iron and pressing down. Because that's just in my nature. I don't think I'd be satisfied with just letting the iron do the work. I'd be using my body weight. There you go. And you do want to center these blocks to your ruler pretty well because then you're going to stitch them together and you want the angles to all come together. You have a little hump there, so you might have to go over that twice. And before you pick up your ruler, I take my rotary cutter and push the fabric just to make sure it does push away. Look at the top and there are other rulers that are, like I said, 2.5 by 2.5. And that way you could do, I'm like comfortable doing 3 sides and then spinning my rotating mat. down at it from all like angles. Oops, too big. What am I doing here? There we go. Measure twice, cut once, right? Okay. These are so cute. What do we have? I didn't do all of them, did I? Nope. That was my first grouping. Here's the rest of them. Okay, let me cut these down. Okay, last one of these. All right, we're gonna sew these together, but before we sew these together, I'm just gonna keep on trimming. So this one right here looks like, I'm guessing, my 6.5 by 8.5. So when you lay this down, look at it from above, from all angles. I put little rubbery things on here which are facing up. That's wrong. You want them facing down so they don't budge. And if you've never used a pop ruler before, the first time I used it, I literally went like this and cut into my embroidered block. And I was like, those are the worst things ever. And I didn't use them for like a couple of weeks. And then what I realized is it was me. And that as you cut, you want to kind of lean your blade kind of into, not into this, but like definitely not into the embroidered block. So again, it's really important that you use like a rotating mat. I think it's really important to use a rotating mat. You're going to take your blade, push it down in, walk your fingers up as you cut, go all the way to the end, turn. If I didn't have the camera in the way, I could do a couple of cuts from one angle, like 2 cuts. All the way. Be really deliberate. Hold it down as you spin it. Push it in. Go all the way up. And good thing I'm not cutting to the line, right? Because I'm like way outside the line. Okay. I find that if my blade is not like 100% brand new, I do have to give it a little cut just in the corner just to release it. So you might have to do that just into the corner. But I love my pop rulers. Whoop. And there you go. So don't cut on that line. Just fussy cut around it and make it fit it the best possible. The best you're able to do. And those are done. Or that one's done. So let's go ahead and cut all of these that are that size. Remember, this is going to be a redo block, but I'm just going to go ahead and we'll like lay it all out so it'll be so cute. I'm going to shut my door. It's getting loud in the house. Let me see if I can get an angle like this. And that's going to like give me a little more room. Okay. Here we go. I'm not a, like a cutting table for me because I'm short and I like a little bit of leverage. I like just regular counter height. Or not counter height, but regular sewing table height. Otherwise, I like struggle. Cutting table is just too high for me. Gorge. And then I just lay them out and then it just makes me feel like happy and fulfilled as I'm cutting. This one is bigger than any of the pop rulers. So I think it's probably going to involve some nesting. Instead of doing that, I love this ruler. This is my 8.5 by 18.5. However, it looks like this is going to be 6.5. So it might be great just to use a 6.5 inch ruler. I have a 6.5 by 12.5 that I love too. Let's see if it's over here. This to me is like a have to have size. And it's the perfect size for this. So that's what this block is being cut down to. Before I cut it, because last thing you want to do is have to redo it again. I'm going to look in here and just confirm. But this is 6.5 by 12.5. I like it better than a 6 by 12. That extra 1/2 inch in cases like this make all the difference. So this one is in the back. This is sentiments. And if I had my handy dandy spreadsheet, it'd be in there. Final size. It's usually at the end, and it says right here, trim to 6.5 by 12.5. Just better to check beforehand. I'm going to move this closer to me. I know I have it all the way on the edge, but let's make it, can you see that? Okay, 6.5 by 12.5. So I'm going to just fussy cut to this, making sure it's like an equal amount. Because my lines, they're just, they're inside of the ruler. So hold it Or I'm just going to swing myself over here. Hold the whole thing and swing it. Am I over my cutting mat? I am. Oh. No, I didn't cut all the way through that for some reason. And it's gorgeous. Let me make sure I did this one. Okay, 6.5 by 12.5. What's this? This looks like, I'm guessing, 6.5. That's why these pop rulers are so great. Most of the time you're going to be cutting to these sizes, and then every once in a while you have a block that's a little bit longer, a little bit shorter, that you might have to nest your rulers or go with a traditional ruler. Whatever is best for you. Okay. Just take your time. Be slow, be deliberate. Did I not cut that one side? I did. I must just be hanging on right in the corner. Oh, actually, I missed it right here. Is that it? Note to self. Start with new blade. Okay, hang on. Let me put a brand new blade in because I should not be having, it should be like a thread in the corner and that should be it. I'm going to put a new blade in. I love these splash, Olfa splash, because changing the blade's super easy. You just kind of pull down and then this will come off. There we go. And did you know that they recommend you oiling your blade? Like, I did not know that. But you should put a drop of oil on there. And sometimes you get like cruddy in here. Do you see like I have some fuzz in there? So I'm going to get that out right now too. Where are my handy dandy tweezers? So right back here. Look at all of that. That'd be the equivalent of rotary cutter belly button lint. Get it? Okay. I have other ones where you like unscrew them apart and you do all this stuff. And the thing I find confusing with that is like I always forget how to put it back together. I'm going to drop this in here, but I'm going to remember not to reach my hand in there. I think we've all had a rotary blade cut and they're no fun. And these are just 45mm rotary blades. Let's put one in. Be careful because they're sharp, right? They're like oily, so. All right. But they recommend putting like a drop of oil. And that's how easy it is to change those out. They're super nice. Super nice, super easy. Okay, let's finish up. Let's see what a difference. It's perfect, right? Before and after. This looks like 6.5 by 6.5. And it is. So you have that outline. Fussy cut. Frame it the best you can. And then you're going to fussy cut to that. You know when you put a new blade in and then you go, why was I suffering through that? But we want to make sure we get every bit of value out of our blades. They're not cheap. See, when you have like a good blade, it goes, change your blade. It'll go right to the corner. I know I need a blade change when it doesn't cut all the way, and I have to fix it. Okay. Okay, that one is done. Favorite block ever. All right, let's look at our instructions for these. These we're going to sew them together and then we're going to quilt them. So this is Pinwheel, I think. Here we go. We are going to trim these down. They're kind of itty bitty. Using a rotary cutter and ruler, trim the inside of each triangle strip, using the outer tack down line as a guide on the 3 outer edges of the triangle strip. Okay, that's important. Let's look at that. Because we are going to cut on the outside. So the inside, we're going to cut right on the line. So this is our insides. And then we're going to cut a 1/4 inch around the outside. Let's just make sure I'm reading that right. With the right sides together and all outer tack down lines aligned, pin the seams. If not using a block by block, the block should measure 6.5 by 2.5 when you're done. So let's get a longer, skinnier ruler. I am going to go, not that one. Jesus. There's my 1/4 inch all the way around. Here's my inside. Again, I want a 1/4 inch beyond and a 1/4 inch on. Okay, that's perfect. Although, I'm going to cut around this outside. Okay, I'm going to go 1/4 inch beyond here. I'm going to line up my 1/4 inch with this. And I'm going to cut, it's a 1/4 inch above that. I want to fussy cut to this. Let's do that first. We're going to do 2 cuts first. See what we get. I'm going to cut down the center. Okay. All right, that looks good. Take your time with this one. So do you see I'm right on the line here, cutting on that and 1/4 inch all the way around there. This is a little bit bigger, but that squared off the piece, so this comes out to be 7 inches. Let me make sure that's right. Because it says the block should measure 2.5 by 6.5. 2.5 by 6.5. So I think I want... I'm not ready to give up my 1/2 inch. Hopefully this is right. Hopefully when I put this together, this is going to be right. Okay. This one is this one. Do you see? It's 1/4 inch over here, just like that, and looks just like this. And 1/4 inch down here. That's right. I'm going to go with it. I'm going to look at this one before I trim it down, just to make sure. This one is this one down here. This one should be that one. So I should have a big triangle down here in this corner, which I do. That matches that. And this should be a sideways one. Okay, so I'm going to cut right on this line here, and then it's going to be 1/4 inch all the way around on these sides. Going with it. Cutting right on this side, and then 1/4 inch above, and 1/4 inch below. I'm going to fussy cut those two sides because they're a little bit smaller. Okay, here we go. Commit. Let me get this out of the way so I can see. Quarter inch above. 1/4 inch above here. 1/4 inch on that side. I did flip it around. Right on that line. All right. This is what it's going to look like. And I know you can't really see it because there's going to be a seam. That's going to be your 1/4 inch seam allowance. It's going to look like this. And then I think we trim it down because they want it to be 2.5 by 6.5. So I'm not going to trim it yet, but this is what we're going to sew together. We're going to sew it together right over here. So that is ready to go. All right, let's keep going. It's your day. This one I'm undecided. That looks like 4.5 by 6.5. Let's get the appropriate ruler. Tidy as you go. I do not need this stuff over here. Fussy cut. And we will do this one. See, this one's a white outline and it's kind of hard to see. So I do like doing those, like the background fabric tack down stitch. I like doing it in a color. And it's fine. I can kind of see it, but easier for my aging eyes. To see it when it's colored. A contrasting color. And like I said, when you have a brand new blade, it cuts right to the corner. And it just does it really easily. Okay. Let's go ahead and... I think I'm going to switch my machine over to sewing. And we can go ahead and at least sew together this and the 9 patch. And like I said, I'm going to fix some stuff. So... look at this before you sew it together. Make sure you have it right because I already flipped it. This goes here and this goes like this. So that's going to get sewn together on that long edge. These, the 9 patch, they want you to sew them together in rows. So your first row is going to be so much of a glare. You're going to do peach, filler, peach, we're doing that one, peach, filler, yellow, and it shows it with, and I don't know if that makes a difference, but it's showing it like this. So there is, when you look at it, you can kind of see the fold, like they're showing the fold right up here. So I'm going to put a fold up in the upper left. This one, and then this side shows you same thing, fold in the upper left. There we go. So there's my fold. I don't know if it comes together easier if you do that. So we're going to do this. I don't know if it makes a difference. This and this. And then the last row. This. Okay, so you're going to do rows first. Sew it together here, here, and here, and then sew this top row to this row to this row. Let's do the other one. Here, here, yellow. This, and the final one. This. I'm missing one of my squares. This is typical of me. This is what happens. Here it is. Okay, I'm going to go to the sewing machine. Here we go. We're going to switch over to sewing. I haven't even looked at your messages. Let's see. Do you have some sort of building project going on? We do. Yeah, Betty. So, could you hear it? Actually, I don't hear anyone right now. So I'm thinking maybe they went to lunch. So when we moved into our house in 2019, one of the things that came up in the inspection was that the stone wall was failing. Well, stone wall's failing, patio's failing, everything's kind of failing. So we are in the process of redoing all of it. It's a big job. I think they said it's going to take 2 or 3 months. So, and we just thought, you know what, let's do it now. Because, and I'm just going to put my other foot on. Here's my hoop screwdriver. If you don't have one of these, you definitely want to get one because it makes so easy. Because you put it on and it's not going to come off. And there's a little screwdriver on the inside. Like our contractor came over and just, you know, I didn't even really look at it when we looked at the house, but there's phases. Like you can tell, oh, they did this then they did this, and this didn't match, and that didn't match. So we're gonna kind of like do everything all at once and have it all go. Was gone for the weekend. What have you been working? I am working on Shout Hooray, Miss Cindy. I know. You can't believe it, but I am. I'm still working on it. Righty tighty. And we're kind of cutting out the squares and sewing everything together now. Because I might as well just do it now. This is getting it done. Very pretty blocks. What is the name of the Kimberbell? Shout Hooray. Let me scroll up, see if I missed anything. Jacqueline, I am so behind too. That's why I really like these sew-alongs, because they make me accountable and I have to work on something. So next week I'm going to do another finishing sew-along. Just grab one of your UFOs and work with me. It doesn't have to be Kimberbell. It can be anything you want to work on. It'll just be a time for you to set aside for you to work on something. And we all get on here and just chat and try and catch me making a mistake before I make it, hopefully. And then the week after that, so in 2 weeks, we're going to work on cuties. Because I should have everyone's cuties to them. Your books, your kits. Where did I put my walking foot? Remember I put it in its special spot and now I moved it. This is my special skill, losing things. I don't know if there's anyone who does it better than I. Oh, this is my stuff for... Okay, give me just a second. Because it couldn't have gone far. Oh, nope, that's not it. Thought I found it. But I did not. Dun. I usually say when in doubt, look on the floor, but I think I would have heard it fall. Oh, my God. Did you guys see it? I just put it on there. I was busy talking to you. So then I forgot I put it on there. I'm going to get my 1/4" flange. That's embarrassing. Here's my 1/4" flange. I'm just using my Filtech bobbin in there. And then I usually piece with Deco Bob. And I like piecing with Deco Bob in white, cream, khaki. I don't care. But if you've never used Deco Bob before, Deco Bob is an 80 weight thread. It's a cottonized polyester. And I don't know if that means it's polyester wrapped in cotton or cotton wrapped in polyester, but it has the strength of a 40 weight, but it's half the diameter, so it's half as skinny, which means it's less bulky in your seams. And I'm just a believer in Deco Bob. So I have my 1/4" flange on. I normally piece at 1.8, but I'm going to leave it at 2.5. We're going through some layers at this point. I'm not going to pin because it's thick, so pins just kind of, I feel like it distorts. But I do like to look under here, make sure my seams are going to be matching. That looks good. And let's just hope it all just falls into place. I'm going to do a little lock. My machine is set up to just put the foot down. Okay, that's like watching the grass grow, isn't it? Let me check these seams too. Because this is your time to give it a little push and a little pull. You can ease your fabric. You're the boss, so you make your fabric work for you. But check it before you get there. I almost always piece with my walking foot on. I love this walking foot. This is the This is the compact one. So if you have the original, well, I think I'm going to go ahead and lock it here too. I call this the little butt one. So the original walking foot had like a bigger butt that kind of hung down in the back. And then this one, the butt goes up a little bit. So, and you know, I had the big butt one for a long time. And I didn't, oh my goodness. Did I really just do that? I think I sewed it together wrong. Okay, let's take a peek. Because I wasn't paying attention. It should be a pinwheel, and mine is not. Look. It's gorgeous, isn't it? But not what it's supposed to look like. Thought I had lined those up. Pinwheel. Good thing I locked those edges. My start and my finish. Here we go. But yeah, that's definitely not what it should look like. Let's go ahead and take it apart. This was supposed to be, yeah, on top. All right. That's okay. This is what I do. This is what makes me human. How do you get the extra feet for, you can get them from us. We usually do them, just reach out if you want to get some of those. I think they're on sale on the site. If not, send me a note and I'll give you a little discount. But there are 3 different or 4 different soles. So it comes with the regular straight stitch sole, just your regular zigzag. There is a 1/4 inch, a stitch in the ditch, and an open toe, and I go between all 3 of them. Like I use, and that's what I use 95% of the time. The only time I use a different foot is if it doesn't fit onto my flange. I mean, onto the foot. Like a buttonhole or, you know, something like that. The other thing you might want to do with this is this seam is going to show. Well, no, it's not, because I just sewed the wrong things together. So that's why it showed. That's going to be up in the... Okay. I should have sewed these 2 together. There you go. That's going to make my pinwheel. All right. Take sewing pinwheel together. Take 2. Here we go. So we want to make sure these seams match. I'm going to scoot that over just the tiniest bit. Here we go. Make sure the seam is matching. That looks good. All right, now here's the big reveal. There we go. Look how gorgeous that is. Look how perfect all those seams are. It's a little thick in there, but this is, we're going to press and clapper it, and it's going to be absolutely gorgeous. I'm actually going to press it, I'm going to press it open so it's not so bulky. Turn on your iron, get out your clapper. This is when the clapper makes all the difference. I'm going to move this out of the way. I thought I'd lost this, but I found it was underneath the ottoman. It must have fallen down, rolled across the floor, jumped underneath the ottoman. So usually I will take this and I will, a lot of times I won't press, if I'm going to stitch in the ditch, I won't press these open, but these are really, really thick right now. So if you want, you can also like take some bulk out of there. Sometimes I'll do that, but your clapper is going to make all the difference. I will press it dry. Then I spray it, press it again, then I clapper it. My iron's just heating up. There we go. And that makes that seam lay as flat as you're going to get it. And look how perfect. Okay, that's what happens when you sew the right sides, the seams together where they're supposed to go. All right, so there we go. Now the other things we can put together are going to be these. So we're going to go ahead and start sewing those together. I'm going to grab these two. I'm just going to put them like this. I'll know the order. On top, on top, on top, on top, on top, on top, and on top, and on top. Okay. Let's start with these. Hi, baby Momo. Hi, baby Momo. Okay, so we're going to do that and this. And now we'll just go ahead and chain piece, right? And then we can cut them all apart. We'll figure it out where everything goes. All right, I'm going to start with my needle down. And let's go ahead and just start stitching. I know this is small. I'm going to go to a 2.0 for my stitch length. And that way I can just cut these all apart and I'm not going to have to worry about them unraveling. Take your time. And you are sewing not the fabric, but the edge of the shape flex. If you want to pin, you can pin. I'm just showing a couple stitches off. You don't want to do a lot of sewing off your fabric because your feed dogs, which are diamond cut, can ruin the backs of your feet, the soles. Let me just look at my guide, just make sure I have this right. So I'm going to do this one and this one next. Don't forget that you put that blade in the trash beside you. You're worried about me? After, you know what, Betty? That is something I would forget. And then I'll reach in there, cut up my hand. So as soon as the class is over, I'm going to take that and just dump it into the trash. Because I take needles and I just shove them in there. And I take, let's see, can this get attached to something? I engage in all sorts of risky sewing behavior. Are you talking, Lila, are you talking about me putting on my walking foot and then not being able to find it? So I went to a training in San Antonio, and during lunch, I walked down to the convenience store for something. I can't remember what it was. I was talking to Patrick at the time, and I'm putting these so the fold, the fold where you can see it all the way across, is in the upper left-hand corner. I don't know if it's going to make a difference, but that looks like how they had it. And I called Patrick. And as I was leaving because I'm always scared that I'm going to lose my stuff. As I was leaving the convenience store, I was like, oh my God, I can't find my phone. I had walked probably half a block. So I told Patrick, I'm like, I'm going to run back there, see if I can find my phone. And he goes, Jeannie, you're talking to me on your phone. But that's me, the type of person that's going to lose like glasses on top of my head. Okay, this is what I like to use for my chain piecing. I should put my microphone back over here. I like to use this. And they make smaller ones now, but this is my original one that I got, and I just use it. So now don't do this if you're doing like a stitch that's like 4 millimeters away, because it's just going to unravel here on the edge. But if you make your stitch length really short, now you can just pull it apart, and since it's so small, it's not going to come apart there. I'm going to go ahead and press these open. Wait, let me see. Did I miss anything? I have an old... That's what... You know what, Renata? I need to do that. I need to get like some kind of old container, and that way I can just take my blades, like anything that's dangerous, right? Like sharps. I know people keep... for their needles, you keep like old, where you get your pills in the little prescription bottles, that you keep them in there. So I should do that, because I very well may just reach right in there. That's like something I would totally do. Okay, so I like to press these dry first. Then a shot of best press. Then one more press. And then clapper it. These are the cutest clappers in the world. Lynn Geldmeyer sent me those, and I think she got them from, I think we have them posted on our website somewhere. It's nice having them in different sizes. Like if I were to get one, this would be the one that I would get, because it's like a medium size. But then I love having, sorry about that. Sorry. Okay. I love having them all the sizes. These are great because they'll fit in the hoop, even if you're using like your 4x4 hoop. I try to multitask. Put a clapper, hold this down at the same time, press, best press, that one's done. One's ready, clapper it, and then we'll get the next one ready. Time to empty these trash cans anyways. I mean, look how flat and perfect these seams are once you clapper them. It makes like all the difference in the world. And we sell in the store, what we sell is we sell these. And then we also sell, I came home with a longer one too. Because there's sometimes I'm doing a longer, bigger seam. So those are the ones I think they sell in the store. Okay, I'm going to go back over and let's sew these to their mates. Have Patrick drill a hole into the top of a medicine bottle. Yeah, for my, are you talking about for needles and stuff? I should have him do that. Patrick can be handy when he wants to be. Okay, this is going to get one of these on the side. So let's go ahead and attach this. And we are going to be quilting these too. So once we're done with this, and you know what I have to do is I have to find my filler blocks because I think there's going to be some filler blocks that are going to need some quilting. This is the yellow. There we go. I'm always so jealous of the wives who have, or just anyone that has somebody handy in their family that builds. I would love to do woodwork. I think that would be amazing. I would love to be able to build something for myself. Who needs a guy to do that? I could do it myself. In another life, I'm going to do woodwork. There is a gal on Instagram, and I love her. But they always show her remodeling, like, kitchens. And, you know, she'll put in cabinets. But, you know, how it was really popular to have cabinets that didn't have the, I'm missing. Cabinets that didn't have... like they were you know, on the top. It didn't go all the way to the ceiling. And then she'll build boxes, cabinet boxes, and just put more shelves in there and things, so it goes all the way to the ceiling. And she makes it look so easy. I'm like, she'd probably be great at piecing. And she's a finisher. She just whips out her projects. Everything gets done and it looks absolutely gorgeous. Okay, we are missing a little peach block. When in doubt, look on the floor. Did I kick it under here? Let me cut these apart. Oh, there he is. I see him. When he's naughty and he's hiding, it's a little boy. When it's good and behaving, it's a little girl. I should have sewed that on first. I'm just kidding. Take your time. All right, it's in the, love that. Oh, your husband builds stuff for you. Oh my God, that's amazing. I just think it's so, I would love to be like, and this is what I want. And just have him whip it up. One of our customers came in and her I think it's her son-in-law, built her a she shed. But it was fantastic. He just, I mean, he made things and put things in there that just made it like so beautiful. I think he put like a chandelier in there. And then he did like a dining room table, but half of it. and then it was like against the wall, and just even the legs on it were gorgeous. They were just special, and they had they were just straight legs. They were like fancy, and everything was just like so beautiful and thoughtful. So thoughtful the way he did it. I think it's the small details that made it so special. Okay, let's do the next one. I'm gonna unfold it, get it ready. While I'm holding down this clapper, it's trapping the heat. And you do have to be careful. I have a mat under here, and this mat has warped a little bit because, like, you don't want it to have too much moisture. It's just a little shot of best press, but you don't want to have your wool mat on top of a cutting mat with a lot of moisture, because you will warp them. I have 2 mats. Oh my God, this is going to be so cute. There we go. We made it. Those are horizontal, but I just don't know how that would have worked if I hadn't laid that down square like I did. So these are a little more labor intensive, because now we're going to take them back over and we're going to quilt them. And we're just going to quilt them like, I think we still do them block by block. I really like the ones where you can add the quilting and add the embroidery, but you do the quilting at the very end. So you do all the piecing in the hoop. You couldn't do that because these had to be like sewn together. So it was a little bit more complicated. And now we're going to sew these together. So we have this, this, and this. And you're going to sew them here and here. Okay. Just like that. Okay, let's go. Back over. Just be mindful when we sew them together. Make sure we've got it sewn together on the right edges. That's amazing that they built a cabin. So, I have a girlfriend, and her grandparents, it was probably her grandfather, they're from Jersey, and so he built, and you used to be able, I mean, I think it's so crazy that you could do this. He built a cabin, and he ordered it from Sears and Roebuck, right? And they had this cabin on the lake in Kinnelon, New Jersey, and I just think it was just so crazy that you could order this out of a catalog and then build it. I think that's so fantastic, and I don't think that was like uncommon. You can kind of do stuff like that now. Check your edges, make sure everything's lined up the best it can be. Remember the Sears catalog? Or how about the J.C. Penney's catalog? I mean, they were both amazing. I remember we never got those catalogs. I don't know why, but did you have to go and buy them or be on their mailing list or what? But I just remember going to friends' houses and, you know, I've liked shopping. I guess I've always enjoyed shopping and poring over those catalogs and be like, oh my goodness, it's so amazing. And if your edges don't line up perfectly, just pick an edge. It's going to look great when it's done, so don't worry about it. It was the Sears catalog that was so big, wasn't it? Okay. I'm going to press this all at once. I'm going to sew it together on the other side. I'm just using my cutter right here. If you're way off, I mean, it's up to you. You could unstitch if you want to. I'm leaving mine. Oh. Somebody ring the doorbell. Here goes Momo. His nice friendly greeting. Check your seams underneath. And looks great. Okay, I'm going to just press them. These are going to get quilted down. So I don't think you have to worry that we're pressing the seams open because it's still going to get quilted. I mean, this will get really, really thick if you're pressing things to just one side. Go ahead and just press it open. And it's going to go down on a piece of muslin anyways, or it's going to go down on no-show mesh if that's what you're using. There's nothing wrong with either. Need the bigger clapper for this. It needs to be able to reach. Looks really good. Let's go ahead and get this. Take the time. If you want to give it a little press from the front, you can do that too, but isn't that gorgeous? So cute. Done with that one. Let's go ahead and press this one open. And then we can hook up our embroidery again. Or, you know, we don't have to hook it up. I have mine on there. We can go ahead and quilt these. I have no idea what time it is. I've just been stitching. Oh, look, it's 2. I was like, why am I so hungry? So I'm just going to finish this up. Then I am going to, I'm going to end the live feed. But I'm going to finish this. I'm going to stitch out, I'm going to do a second stitching my balloons. I'm going to look at this and go, can I live with it? Is it going to be so cute? It might be so cute. I think I can totally live with that. I think it's going to be adorable. And I'm going to stitch this all together. I didn't stitch out the sentiments because, or the little letters, because I really want to read it and look through it and see, like, figure out what the easiest way to do that is going to be. But wouldn't it be great if I showed up at the store with a finished project? I might save the back though, because remember we're doing that, if you want to learn how to finish or do a pillow on the serger with the matching, with cording, I think I was going to save the back of this to finish it up in the class. So maybe I'll piece the other parts together. Oh, that looks good. Okay, those are just like so ridiculously cute. I just love them. So we got through finishing up our little pinwheels, our 9-patch, this embroidery, squaring everything, trimming everything down, and I'll finish up the balloons and then I'm going to sew it all together. I'll do a little video finishing it all. But this is one super cute pillow. So I'm going to get going. Hope you had fun. Thanks for joining me. Hope you got something done too. I'm just looking at your notes really quickly. Well, just so, I guess. See what you can get done. I will see you tomorrow from the store. Have a great day. And shout hooray.